Are you feeling stuck in your career and unsure whether you should stay the course or make a bold change? If you're in an industry like entertainment that's experiencing massive contraction, you may be questioning if it's better to wait for things to improve or to pivot. Well, what if there is a way to make a decision with confidence and clarity? By combining practical considerations with a deeper understanding of your values, you can navigate this challenging time with a clear mind and a steady heart. In this week's podcast, I explore two essential decision-making models that can guide you: the pragmatic approach and the spiritual approach. Hey everyone, I'm Laverne McKinnon and welcome to the Moonshot Mentor podcast. I'm a certified career coach and a grief recovery specialist, and I love to help ambitious, driven people feel confident, empowered, and excited after experiencing a career setback. Whether it's from feeling stuck in a tough period or frustration from slow progress, I offer up tools and resources to revamp your path to career success. Let's get to it. So there are a lot of great essays, podcasts, and articles about making a career pivot, but most of them focus on pivoting as a result of being bored, burnt out, or lacking opportunities for growth. But what if you're contemplating a pivot for a completely different reason? What if you're in an industry like entertainment that's experiencing a massive contraction and you've been laid off with very few job opportunities available? So many of my clients are wondering whether they should ride out an industry downturn, hoping that things change, or if they should pack up and pivot before they've burned through their savings. There are two ways to look at this critical decision: pragmatically and spiritually. Leaning too heavily on pragmatics may rob you of an inner sense of calm. Conversely, if you focus only on the spiritual aspects of critical decision-making, you may find yourself in a tough financial spot. Let's take a look at both of these decision-making models and how to combine them when considering whether to pivot out of a stalled industry. Okay, the pragmatics. Approaching a big decision in a sensible, thoughtful, rational, eyes wide open manner can help you mitigate risks. When you're contemplating a career pivot, risks can include exiting too early, like before new opportunities or payoffs can be made, or exiting too late, depleting savings, not developing new skill sets, and losing out on opportunities. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself to help you face the practical reality of an industry downturn and inform your decision. The first, what data exists that suggests how long the downturn will last or whether a recovery will happen? 2, what is your financial runway? How long can you sustain without having an income? 3, how willing are you to take a potentially ego-bruising job in order to give yourself more time to stay in your chosen field? While these questions might be painful to answer, it's important to remove any blinders to the truth. Burying your head in the sand is not going to help you survive or thrive. It's equally important not to take industry trends personally. Comparing yourself to others and ruminating about why you were laid off or downsized versus someone else is actually not helpful, and you'll probably never truly know the answers to these types of questions. What is helpful is naming your talents, skills, strengths, and wins. Don't inflate them, don't minimize them. They're going to serve as your lifeboat to either hang on in your current industry or move to another one. Let's take a look at the spiritual decision-making model. Making decisions from a place of spirituality is not specific to following religious dogma. Religion is a set of shared, organized beliefs and practices. Spirituality, in the context of this podcast, is about the individual practices that reflect your own sense of purpose and connection to something that's greater than yourself. So approaching a big decision from a spiritual perspective means knowing how your choice reflects your values, what's most important to you, and your purpose. Your choice then becomes a reflection of fulfillment. It's not a singular pursuit of being happy or financially secure or in a position of power. Fulfillment is an alignment of your head, your heart, your body, and your spirit. And that allows you to ride out the highs and the lows with confidence and esteem. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself to decide between staying in an industry or making a pivot. 1, what's most important to you in your life? 2, what's your life purpose and how can you manifest your life purpose in a different career or industry? 3, What values are you honoring in staying the course or pivoting? So again, these questions might not be easy, but the answers are going to serve you, not just in terms of this decision-making point, but for the rest of your life. Spirituality for me, it's not about blind faith. It's about accepting hard truths, being willing to do the work without clinging to an outcome, and trusting my intuition. It's about believing in my ability to respond to any difficulty because I'm clear on my values and purpose. Now, let's combine the pragmatic with the spiritual. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at all of your answers and read over them a couple of times. And while you're reading them, I want you to notice any sensations that are in your body that are going to pop up when you say certain words or phrases. So these sensations are giving you clues to what feels right or what might feel out of alignment. Now, once you've had a chance to digest the answers to the pragmatic and the spiritual, it's time to answer another set of questions that are going to help you actually make the final decision. 1, what will you gain by staying? 2, what will you gain by pivoting? 3, what will you lose by staying? 4, what will you lose by pivoting? With these insights, what choice will best serve you? Remember, there's never an all-win or an all-lose situation. By combining the pragmatic with the spiritual, you will discover that there's a choice that's balanced and aligned. Let's see how these questions help my client Jenny decide whether to stay in her current career or pivot. Jenny has worked inconsistently as a production coordinator in the entertainment industry for about 4 years. She's been told to survive until 25, but over the last few months, she's come to doubt her industry will recover anytime soon. She doesn't feel burned out by her work. She's burning out waiting for the industry to recover. Jenny has no hard data to support her feeling that it will take years for the entertainment industry to rebound. She's acutely aware that her financial runway is 0, and she's been borrowing money from her family to hang on while working a part-time social media job, and she hates it. The gig is not just ego bruising, it's soul-crushing because she works for a difficult personality. However, she's been unwilling to quit because the job comes with the perk of hearing industry gossip from a reliable source. And there's a promise that when things open up, her boss is going to help her. What's most important to Jenny in her life right now is having a steady paycheck by doing something she's good at and makes her happy. Jenny's actually not clear on what her life purpose is, but she thinks it might have something to do with making things that bring people joy. She's thought about working for Habitat for Humanity or becoming a housing contractor. If she stayed in entertainment, she would be honoring her value of not giving up, and maybe she would find success at some point, and then she would achieve her dream. She would also increase her debt, so that's not awesome. If she pivoted to a new industry, she would be honoring her values of financial independence, self-worth, and contribution. But in releasing her dream, she may further lose confidence, connection with her intuition, and hope. So after sitting with her answers for a few weeks, Jenny made a decision to move back home and apprentice for her father, who works as a general contractor. She realized that having a steady paycheck was most important to her. And with financial stability as a baseline, she would be able to then become more open to other job opportunities that would bring her joy. Waiting for something that might not happen, like a significant industry turnaround where she wouldn't need a second job, just simply didn't align with her core values. Okay, bottom line, as you consider whether to stay in your current industry or pivot to something new, there isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. It's about finding a balance between the practicalities of your situation and what truly aligns with your values and sense of purpose. Combining both the pragmatic and the spiritual approaches allows you to make a decision that's not just about immediate needs, but also long-term fulfillment. Reflect on what you stand to gain or lose with each option, and remember that your choice should serve not just your professional aspirations, but your personal well-being too. You want to trust in your ability to make informed choices that honor both your head and your heart. So no matter where you decide to go next, know that the clarity and courage you've developed in the process is going to guide you to wherever life might lead. Okay, that's it for this week. Next week, I'm going to share a simple way to feel more energized, motivated, and focused. Now, before you go, I would really appreciate if you could rate and review this podcast. It's so helpful to supporting my work. And remember to head over to Moonshot Mentor on Substack for journal prompts to help you really figure out and make a decision about whether you should pivot or stay in your industry. You can also visit me at moonshotmentor.com, where you can find links to all of my social and how to work with me. And as always, a very big thank you to Lynn Chen for the video and audio editing. You can find her on social at Ms. Lynn Chen. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week.